Well, good afternoon, Pipers. Welcome back to the Bass Piper channel. And just hope everybody is having a good start off to the week. Me and Miss Bass Piper have been gone for probably about the last 4 or 5 days. We came in late Sunday afternoon. We were gone since last Thursday to Asheville, North Carolina. And took my mother-in-law, my 87-year-old mother-in-law, to a family reunion. And my mother-in-law comes from a family of 10 kids. 8 are still living, and she's 87. So she's the oldest of the girls. And I think there were 6 girls and 4 boys. But we've had two of the men have passed away. So they've gone from 10 to 8. And we took her up to Asheville to have their yearly family reunion, since they don't know how many more they're all going to have. So we just got in Sunday evening from traveling back. But it's been a few minutes since I was able to get on here, and I just got finished cutting the grass and doing all the weed eating, and got to go get a shower. And so I thought I would come out here and make a quick video to just do a video about nothing, really. So don't have a pipe, don't have a cigar, and I know I've been getting some comments from some of my subscribers going, I thought Bass Piper smoked pipes. How come we always see cigars? Well, if you missed that video or a couple of videos, Bass Piper for the last couple of years has been on a cigar journey. And I haven't, as they say, dissed my pipes. It seems like every time here, of course, the trash guy's got to come around now that I'm making a video. Sorry, guys. They used to come around 7 o'clock in the morning. Now they want to come around 1:30, 2 o'clock, sometimes 7 o'clock at night. Now he's gone down the other side of the street, so that means he's going to circle back and come in front of my house. So we might get disrupted again. But I feel like old curmudgeon, old Doug. Every time he gets making a video, there's either sirens going off or something happening. But that don't happen too often with mine. But this guy here, he decided to come right as I started this video. So anyway, guys, we've been cutting grass and getting everything caught up. And my son came over this weekend while we were gone to work diligently on moving my shallow well pump from the outside of the garage to the inside of the garage. We got a new pump. We had to redo all the diaphragms and valves and things in the boxes underground that control the sprinkler heads and all that on our property. Bass Piper's got about, I guess we're at 10 zones. We were at 13 till I poured the concrete new driveway a couple of years ago when we had the quartet. So that took 3 zones out. So we had 51 heads on the property, and now we're probably down to about maybe 38, somewhere in there, with about 10 zones. But the system's about 20 years old, guys. And so, as we all do, things start falling apart. Rubber starts drying out. We got a sandy soil mix over here, so you know the water, as over time, how it kind of gets that rusty looking stuff all on the plastic and diaphragms. And if you ever seen a diaphragm for a sprinkler system, it's a little round plastic thing with a bunch of tiny little holes all around it, almost like a pinhole almost. They're small. Well, they get gunked up and clogged up and everything, and the heads don't work right. Some don't pop up, some half pop up. And so we had to fix all of that, and finally went ahead and put a new pump in. I went from a 3/4 to a 1 horse because the system needed a little bit more oomph to get the heads up. But we've run into a snafu. The old 3/4 pump, horsepower pump, was working pretty good. We got it up and running this year. Some heads were struggling, and all the way back in my backyard, the farthest part, we're on a 1/2 acre. So imagine being in the back corner of the 1/2 acre with the pump right here in the garage. In fact, let me show you real quick if you can see it. You can see right there, there's the new, hopefully you can see the new pump. And now the light's coming back. It probably went dark on you since I had to turn everything around. But with the 3/4, it wasn't getting back there with enough ump and pressure to pop the 4 heads by the fence line. I'd sometimes have 4 come up and then 2 go down. Sometimes I'd have 4 come up and then 3 go down. Sometimes I'd have 4 go up and run all the way about halfway through the time zone, and then 3 would go down and only 1 would be working. So some of those games that we had to deal with. But now with the new pump, it's like it's asking for more water than what it can keep up with. So I'm praying that I don't have to go sink another well. But at 20 years old, I don't know, because we don't know if the drive point that goes all the way down, you guys that know shallow wells and have sunk wells, if over time that's got clogged up and cruddied down at the bottom. That's playing some havoc now with this more powerful pump. And even though it's only about 1/4 more horsepower, so to speak, it's got some more oomph in it to get these heads to popping. So if I do have to sink another well, I'm probably going to just go ahead with a deep well and call it done. And if that sucker goes out, base piper, if I'm still breathing and make it as long as my father did, I'll be about 84, 88 years old, and I ain't going to worry about it anyway. So we're looking at getting some pricing, trying to get some more pricing on the porch. We want to get our front porch put on. We were going to do it last year, but we decided to hold off because we went and got new windows and doors all in the house. We replaced all the exterior doors, all the windows. We went to the paned windows. Our windows are about 26 years old, and anybody that has those knows about those insulated windows. When the gas goes in them, they're done, and they get all clouded up and look like a bunch of trash in your house. And it doesn't make your house look good from the inside, nor does it look good from the outside. That's all clouded up, and moisture is getting in there. So it was time to get an upgrade. So we went ahead and pulled the plug on that first, and then look at maybe getting our porch. I'm trying to see how it's going to come in this year. We'll see how the price is, and hopefully a little bit of it has come down since the COVID days. But with the lumber and the composite type of material that we want to use for the decking. But I got about 3 sizes that I'm looking at, about a 12 by 24 long, a 12 by 30, and a 12 by 35 foot long. And but it all depends on what kind of Donald Trump money I need to do that. I tell you guys, these days, a man goes beyond making a living. He just plain goes out and rapes you with prices. And the rule of thumb is, anytime you get any work done, whatever the material costs, double it or just about triple it for what the price is going to be. It's usually double or double and a half or so times the material. So if you got $10,000 in material, look at $20,000 to $25,000 to get something done. I think to me that could be a little bit of an overkill. It's a deck with a roof. We're not rebuilding the whole house. That's what I told one contractor. I don't think he took it too well, but Base Piper really didn't care. But, I told him, I said, you mistaken. You took me by mistake. I didn't want you to build me a home. I just want a front porch. And so he didn't find a hee-haw in that. Now, I can't help that. But anyway, when you're dealing with my money, just like you're dealing with your money, I work hard for my money for somebody just to rape me over it. It's gone from making a living to retiring on you by one job to raping you. And of course, I don't have the best liking for contractors anyway, and I'll tell you why. They are some of the sorriest in customer service. They are some of the sorriest in courtesy calls. Now, not all contractors are that way. I got a thing that flashed by. I didn't know if it was coming in. That's a habit. I try to move it out the way in a video, a message. But I'm going to tell you what, guys, you talking about aggravating, at least here in the Tidewater area. And one of the problems that we're finding out is it is hard to find just handymen anymore. I mean a good, solid handyman. Handyman around here is renovational men. If you need some rails on your back steps or your front steps, something small, you need something with some small fencing put up, they'll do it. As long as they can go ahead and remodel your kitchen and your bathroom or some big project, and then they add that to it. I don't need my bathroom remodeled. Well, technically I do, but not right now. We just redid the kitchen. We just redid a couple of years ago the whole house with flooring and the whole nine. I just need a couple of simple things done. One and go and move on. But I don't know what's happening with a lot of them. I guess they feel like they're not making the money they could make. But getting back to contractors, at least the sorry ones, okay? I know there's some good ones, so don't send me no hate mail. Some of you that might be contractors, that's Base Piper's subs. But you'll understand what I'm talking about. I'm over these contractors that they don't know you when it's feasting time for them, but they're all over you when it's famine. And you don't get a call back. You've got to chase them. It's like you may as well just do the job yourself if you knew how to do it. It's frustrating. It's like, look, get your wife, get somebody, your girlfriend, or hire somebody to do some customer service for you and be able to handle customers coming in, to set appointments, to set times, to find out what's going on. They tell you they're going to get back with you. They never do. Half of them are working out of the truck. They're writing notes down, going down the highway. They lose the notes. They lose the phone numbers. It is just an aggravating bunch of garbage. And the older Base Piper gets, the less patience I'm having, because I'm outliving my generation where you had people that were more courteous, they were more committed, they were more a man and woman of their word. These days, it's a joke, it's a fly-by-night. It's get in, get out, So, with all that said, I'm trying to get back with the contractor that quoted me last year, and he's a good contractor. He's just busy right now, and I understand some of them get busy. I get that, and that's the problem. If you're that busy, hire somebody. Hire somebody to do your bookings, you know, the customer service for you. But now when you talk about trying to get 3 and 4 different quotes, now you're dealing with 3 and 4 different contractors. It's a ever-loving nightmare. So by the time I'm done with a contractor, I got to go get about 3 massages and a few spas included to get my blood pressure down and to get everything back relaxed where it was, because it's just trifling. And I think a lot of it was I never worked that way. If I told you tomorrow I'm going to call you, tomorrow I'm going to call you. If I tell you I'll get back with you in about 10 minutes, it might be 15 or 20 minutes, but I'm getting back with you. I'm not getting back with you. 4 days later, here comes the trash man. Hold on. So, if I tell you tomorrow to go dye your eggs, it's Easter. Okay? And so that's how I worked when I worked, as far as full-time and sales and customer service and all that. And I get it. I know a lot of these contractors, that's why they're contractors, because a lot of them aren't people friendly in that regard. And they're not customer service people. That's why they need to bring somebody on to do it for them. But, anyway, enough of ranting about contractors. But I tell you, we were going to try to get a porch. We'll try to get a porch, hopefully. And hopefully we can start, if everything gels, within the next month or two, probably 2 months. Because if I go with this contractor that quoted me last year, he's about 6 to 7 weeks out. So you may as well say 2 weeks, especially if you got bad weather involved. But anyway, hopefully Base Piper don't have to sink another well. And hopefully the price tag on the porch will come in halfway decent. So we will see. But anyway, guys, that's what we've been doing the last couple of weeks. How about you? How's your few weeks been? How's your day been? I hope it's been good. And when we were up in Asheville, got to see some good friends of ours. We stayed at their home while Mom went with one of her sisters for the reunion. And we all came last Saturday and came to the reunion with them. But got to see some friends we hadn't seen in a long time. Had a cigar and took them some cigars. I thought they were more of an avid cigar smoker than they said they were. Or they said they were. I thought they were. But evidently they didn't smoke as much as they come across as they did. But anyway, we hooked them up with about 10 cigars, five for the wife and 5 for the husband. Gave them the same exact cigars so that they could smoke them each and find out what they like and what they didn't. So hooked them up with some AJ New World Connecticut's and some house blends, and even put in there what I put in there. I think I put in there, well, I had one that was a couple of them that were sweet tips. They were regular, they weren't flavored cigars. Then I did give them one flavored, just to give them a little bit of combination of different things. I think I gave them some Connecticut Maduro and mixed it up a little bit. So anyway, it was good to see them. And they took us out for a nice meal on Saturday night, and we got to go into a cigar store. I hadn't been in Casablanca, a cigar shop that's in, where was it? Hendersonville, North Carolina. And that one wasn't a bad little. It reminded me really of Willie's here in Newport News. It was kind of small. Willie's had a little bit bigger humidor. But at least in this one at Casablanca, they did have ceiling fans, and their scrubber, huge scrubber, was mounted right there on the ceiling that you could see it, and wasn't bad at all in there. Of course, they didn't have a lot of people smoking in there. And then we went around the corner to another cigar shop that you could have just called it a dive. So it was a little smaller one. And they were getting ready to have some live music in there, but man, it was a darker atmosphere. I'll just leave it at that. So I told my buddy I was with, I said, I'm wanting to take one weekend, me and Miss Bass Piper, to fly down to Tampa, fly down to in that area and visit one of the big Corona cigar lounges and some of the other lounges that are out there. Tampa's kind of like the cigar capital of the world. You got J.C. Newman down there. I'd like to take a tour of that and just go out there and have some fun and watch cigar rollers and watch different things and learn a little bit about the history of cigars. So, but to my subscribers that are saying, where is Bass Piper's pipes? I'm coming. It's getting there. Bear with me. I'll get the pipes back in action. I'm really on this roll of trying some different flavored, not flavored, but different flares of cigars, natural flavor, finding my niche, or my niche, as they say, with the cigars. And always remember, cigars and pipes are cousins, okay? We smoke them basically the same way. In one way, we don't inhale them, at least you're not supposed to. But one's a stick and one just pours it in a bowl. So the one in the bowl takes a little bit more pampering. The other thing that I did mention several videos back is that when I'm doing videos, I have found out that cigars are the way to be able to smoke on a video without sitting and just having to pause and pause and pause on a pipe. And so what you don't see is me having pipes off the video, because then I got time that I can relax and just focus on the pipe and on. Where in a video, unless I'm sitting here for 5 minutes just puffing on a pipe and you watching me and my glasses rock back and forth, because I'm trying to keep the pipe going. Otherwise, you see me always in a video, I'm always setting the pipe down, because I'm aggravated with trying to do a video and trying to keep a pipe going and having to light and relight and relight and relight and relight and do a video. So with a cigar, I can take a few puffs and it'll stay burning for a little while, if the fan don't blow it out. But cigars are a lot easier to do videos if you're going to hold something. Or I just come on like I am today with nothing. So that's one of the reasons why. But it's not a showstopper. I'll bring my pipes back. They'll be back. Just hang in there with me. And I'll just have to start remembering the next maybe few times when I do a video, I'll put a pipe out here. And because I know you guys like seeing the pipes and stuff, and I understand that. So anyway, that's the method to the madness with Bass Piper, why you're seeing cigars here lately. I'm on a quest to find, I got a couple of them, and I think I told you in the last video, I really liked the Liga Privada H99s. Now they make a T52 and they make a 9, and they're all about the same price. They're high. About $17, $18, $19 for the Liga Privadas. Drew states they love that cigar. I do too. I think, man, that H99 was the bomb with the Corojo tobaccos and I can't remember the other binder and fillers what they were, but I think it has a San Andreas wrapper, Corojo filler, I think. But don't quote me on that. You'll have to look it up. But that one, when I came back from Carolina this weekend, Sunday, I stopped by JR Cigars in Burlington, North Carolina. In fact, Carolina Rose just was in there a few weeks ago and did a video in there. And so I went in there and picked me up 2 H99s. I picked up 2 Omex, Foundation Omex. I was thinking I was getting the Claro, and I ended up getting the Maduro. So I'll see. I love the Claro. So let me see. I'll check out. Probably put one of them on the video since I haven't done one on the Maduro, the Omec. Omec is very good. At least the Claro. I'll let you know about the Maduro when I smoke it. But the H99s, guys, are running around 17. I mean, they're like $380 some a box of 24. You know, you're tapping $400 for a box of cigarettes. So it's too rich for Base Piper's blood. I'll have to buy him like 5 cigars at a time or something. But that was a good cigar, probably one of the best. And I've only had one, so I went and bought 2 more. As they say, the rule of thumb is if you're trying a blend, buy 3 of them. 3 of the same cigars, and try them at different times, because your palates always change from morning to the evening, depending on what you're drinking, depending on what you've eaten. And if after 3 cigars, if you still like that cigar, that might be one for you. So anyway, I'm on a quest to find for the Liga Privada H99 something that will match or come close. And from what I understand, it is the Tabernacle by Foundation. Havana Seed. They make 2 type, but the Havana Seed, evidently, they say is the closest. Simply because Nick of Foundation evidently was with Drew Estates and played a part in blending the Liga Privada. I mean, if y'all remember Steve Saka with I can't think of his company, something in Trust. But anyway, everybody knows Steve Saka. He was with Drew Estates as well during that time frame and played a big part with Liga Privada, the Liga Privada line. And so, but the H99, if you haven't tried it, and here again, everything is subjective, give it a shot. It is a good cigar. Now, I may not be able to tell you all the nuances and goodies. Like I said, I'll tell you if it sucks or if it's good. And so Base Piper, it gets a thumbs up. And the Foundation Omec, OLMEC, gets a thumbs up. They're good. Anyway, guys, it's been 28 minutes. I'm going to get on off of here. It's enough ranting and goofing off. We'll come back on here maybe in a week or 2. I'll let you know if anything's happening with the Port Saga. And the gym is going good so far. Not getting many hours, but I don't know if that's just training mode or just what's going on, but we'll see. And, you know, if we can't get the hours, we may have to move on and maybe go do some part-time grocery work or something. I need some part-time hours, and I'm not getting very many. And so, but I think she's also got more staff than what she really needs. But a nice boss and owner, and the gym's a great place to work. I just got to get some hours. So, you fight that sometimes with part-time work, I guess. But anyway, we'll see what happens. But everything's going fine, and we're going to get on off of here and go get a shower. Got to get a shower before Miss Base Piper gets home. So we will talk at you guys later. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And until we meet again, relax and have your pipe or your seagull. And don't forget the many blessings that God gives us each and every day. And oh, don't forget Mother's Day is this Sunday. And if you've got a mom that's living, you figure out a way to get to her if you can and give her a big old hug and a kiss and thank her for being your mother. And I know sometimes that's bittersweet because some people or some kids maybe didn't have the mom they wanted. I'll leave it at that. But then some have. But always remember one thing. That's the mom you got. And you know, she may have done the best she could do with what she was working with. So always remember, pin the roses while they're breathing, because once they stop, it's too late. You don't get that part back. And now as a preacher, I will punch this in. That's why it's important that you and your loved ones know where they're going when they die and when you die, so that you will see them again one day. But you won't see them no more on this earth as you know it, physically, like this. So anyway, guys, you guys take care. Have a great week, and we'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.